Welcome back to the Inspired Inkwell Stories. Today we're sharing an incredible tale of maternal instinct that will restore your faith in both human and animal compassion. If you're new here, we share the most extraordinary true stories from around the world. Make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you never miss these incredible tales. Our story takes place in Villa del Pino, a small town in Argentina, during the harsh winter of July 2013. In the southern hemisphere, July brings bitter cold temperatures that can drop to just 5 degrees Celsius or 41 degrees Fahrenheit. It was during one of these freezing nights that an extraordinary act of heroism unfolded. 1-month-old Santino had been abandoned by his desperate mother in a courtyard. At such a young age, he was completely helpless. Unable to lift his head for more than moments, crawling or walking to safety was impossible. Left alone in the frigid winter air, the tiny baby faced certain death from exposure. His mother, overwhelmed by circumstances we can only imagine, had made the heartbreaking decision to leave him rather than take him to a local orphanage. In the developing world, poverty and desperation sometimes lead to these tragic choices. In this same neighborhood lived a stray dog the locals had named Wei. She was a mother herself, caring for her own litter of puppies while scrounging for food on the streets. Her maternal instincts were sharp and strong, as they needed to be to keep her babies alive in harsh conditions. During her nightly search for food, Wei discovered something that would change everything. Following her nose and her instincts, she found baby Santino lying alone and vulnerable in the cold. What happened next defies belief. Rather than simply investigating and moving on, Wei made a decision that would save a life. She couldn't leave this helpless infant to freeze. Wei returned to her own puppies and did something extraordinary. One by one, she carefully carried each of her puppies to where Santino lay. Then, arranging her litter around the human baby, she created a living blanket of warmth. The dog and her puppies huddled tightly around Santino throughout the entire night, sharing their body heat and keeping him alive through the freezing temperatures. Wei had essentially adopted this human child as one of her own. As dawn broke the next morning, local resident Alejandra Griffa heard unusual sounds coming from a nearby alleyway. The crying seemed human, like a baby in distress. Curious and concerned, she decided to investigate. What Griffa discovered left her speechless. There was baby Santino, surrounded by Wei and her puppies, all huddled together for warmth. The sight was both heartbreaking and miraculous. This street dog had done what his own mother couldn't, providing protection and care when it mattered most. Griffa immediately understood the urgency of the situation. She carefully took Santino to the nearest hospital where medical staff could evaluate his condition. Remarkably, despite spending a night in freezing temperatures, the baby had survived relatively unharmed, thanks to Wei's intervention. Authorities quickly began investigating Santino's abandonment. They discovered his mother was a 33-year-old woman who was subsequently arrested for child abandonment. All 8 of her children were removed from her care, revealing a pattern of neglect. Meanwhile, Wei became a local hero. Her story spread throughout Argentina, touching hearts and demonstrating the incredible capacity for compassion that exists in the animal kingdom. Incredibly, this wasn't an isolated incident in Argentina. In 2008, a similar rescue occurred near Buenos Aires. A 14-year-old girl had given birth prematurely and, terrified and overwhelmed, abandoned her baby boy on a garbage-strewn wasteland. A dog named Lachina discovered the newborn and, like Wei, brought him to her puppies for warmth and protection. The dog's owner eventually heard the baby crying and discovered the remarkable scene. The 8-pound, 13-ounce baby was found lying with the puppies, covered in a blanket with no bite marks despite some minor injuries. Hospital staff named this baby Esperanza, which means hope in Spanish. The young mother, with support from welfare agencies, was able to continue her education while learning to care for her child. Both Wei and Lachina became celebrated figures in Argentina, receiving awards and recognition for their heroic actions. While the shy dogs didn't particularly enjoy the attention, their stories resonated far beyond their local communities. These incidents highlight several important truths. First, they demonstrate that maternal instinct transcends species boundaries. Second, they show how poverty and desperation can lead to tragic choices. Most importantly, they prove that compassion and heroism can emerge from the most unlikely sources. Santino recovered fully and was placed in proper care. Wei and her puppies eventually found loving homes where they could live safely and peacefully. The dog family that had shown such incredible compassion finally received the care they deserved. These stories remind us why dogs have earned the title man's best friend. In moments when humanity failed, these remarkable animals stepped up to protect the most vulnerable among us. While these stories have beautiful endings, they also highlight ongoing challenges around child welfare and poverty. They remind us that behind every abandonment is a story of desperation, and that society must work to support struggling families before they reach such breaking points. Wei and LaChina's actions weren't just heroic, they were profoundly moral. They saw need and responded with unconditional love and protection. In doing so, they saved lives and touched hearts around the world. These incredible dogs proved that heroism comes in all forms. When human systems failed, animal instinct prevailed. When society looked away, these mothers stepped forward. They remind us that compassion knows no boundaries, and that sometimes the most extraordinary acts of love come from the most unexpected sources. Thanks for watching this incredible story. If it moved you as much as it moved us, please like this video and share it with others. Subscribe for more amazing true stories that prove the world is full of unexpected heroes. What do you think about Wei's incredible actions? Share your thoughts in the comments below. We love hearing from you and will respond as quickly as possible. Until next time, keep believing in the power of compassion.